This is a question that seems to be flooding social media at the moment, and it deserves some exploration. As Africans who were enslaved in the Caribbean and the Americas, we are the descendants of many indigenous African people groups who carried their various names with them to the so-called New World. These indigenous names that our ancestors brought with them from the continent of Mama Africa were taken from us during the process of enslavement, and the names of the enslaver were imposed upon us. Generally speaking, our ancestors were given two names. One was a Christian name that symbolized the fact that we were benighted barbarians saved by Christian grace, and the other was the surname, which symbolized the fact that we were not human beings but property of the enslaver. And going into the process of colonialism, these names, these colonial and enslaver names, became prestige among us within our own societies or majority black nations in the Caribbean and throughout the Americas. This reality was famously depicted in the film Roots, in a scene during which the enslaver on the plantation literally whipped the name Kunta Kinte out of the mouth of an enslaved African and imposed the name Toby. So coming out of enslavement and colonialism, many Africans in the diaspora began to reject and discard the colonizer and the enslaver names and reclaim indigenous African names as an expression of the reclamation of our humanity as African people, and also to restore that which was stolen from our ancestors. And as a result of the fact that we as Africans in the diaspora are in fact descended from many different African groups with many different names and languages, our naming traditions, our African reclamation naming traditions naturally reflected that reality. So when you see anybody on social media ask what is Ngozi Fulani's real name and try to suggest what it might be other than Ngozi Fulani, please understand that what they are doing is unleashing the proverbial whip on the auntie and attempting to subject her to modern day neo-colonial standards about what Africans from the diaspora should be called and should be named. Her name is Ngozi Fulani. Say it with pride.